Party. So, welcome to our power session today. I really wanted to talk about income producing activities that will help you build a real business. So, we call this IPAs. And when I first got started in network marketing, I was a bartender and I thought they were talking about beer. So, when you guys see IPA in the group chat or on a team call or on a podcast, that's going to stand for income producing activities. So, for example, hopping on this Zoom call, in the moment, you're not going to be producing income, right? It's the action that you take after you get on the Zoom call that will help you produce income. So, today I really wanted to touch on income producing activities, not busy work, not scrolling, not overthinking, but the few things that actually move the needle in our pharmacy business. So, maybe you guys can share in the chat what are some income producing activities that you guys are already doing? I want to see who I'm speaking to here, what you guys are already doing, what I want to make sure I'm touching on. Kayla said reach outs, follow ups. Reach outs. Yes, we all know that reach outs help us move the needle in our business. I love that conversations are probably one of the most important, or is the most important thing. Checking your back office every morning, events, content, planning events. All right, cool. I'm going to be preaching to the choir today, but success in this business, it isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things consistently. And income producing activities are the right things that you should be doing. So today I'm just going to break down 5 income producing activities that when they're done daily and when they're done weekly, they will absolutely build your business. So if you focus on these, the money, the growth, and the momentum, that's going to follow, but it's with consistency. So, the first IPA that I'm going to touch on, if you guys are taking notes, I hope you're all taking notes. Drop a one in the chat if you're taking notes, because note takers are money makers when you apply the notes that you are taking, as Daniela says. All right, everyone's taking notes because they're gonna go and you guys are gonna go and train this to your people that join after this call. But number one is getting customers through product use and results. Sometimes we overlook sharing our results with the products, and the foundation of every strong pharmacy business is customers. Customers are going to create belief, they're going to create momentum, they're going to create consistency, and they're going to create income that you can count on. The main overall goal is to have your PV bonus and your customer bonuses higher than your team bonuses, because if you once you start to build a team and once you start to build a real business, when you can get your, and this is something that I'm working on, I'm teaching myself right now. When you can get your customer bonuses and your customer commission higher than your team bonus, you're never gonna like have to rely on a team. You're gonna rely on yourself and your customers. So you like team members come and go, but when you can get a loyal customer base of people that have adapted products to their life and to their routine, you can control your income. All right. So customers, they don't come from being salesy, they come from visibility, they come from education, and they come from trust. So the first income producing activity is getting customers. And the fastest way to do that is by sharing product use and real results. People don't want commercials, they want proof that the product is working. They want to see you using the products that you love. So if you go to my Instagram page, I've highlighted, if you go to my reels, there's a reel of me talking about our L-carnitine, showing a before and after. Every week, I have someone messaging me about that reel. Last week, I posted myself using the brown sugar lip gloss, and I am obsessed with it. But it makes a difference with me using the liner, putting on the lip gloss, showing people the result in the first clip, right? In that first 30 seconds or that first 3 seconds, I'm showing them my lip liner and my lip gloss already on. And then the next clip, cuts into me using the liner and putting on the lip gloss. So you want to demonstrate to them the real results in real time. And I love showcasing our makeup because it shows them immediately what the products are doing and how they work, right? And it's the best before and after being barefaced and then having a full face of pharmacy makeup. It's like, wow, those products work. So showing people in real time how the products work with a 15-second reel, 30-second reel. If you want your reels to circulate, they have to be under 3 minutes, but the attention span is like 30 seconds. If you can get their attention in the first 2 seconds, right? So I like to show results first, and then I go into how I got that result. And I love showcasing makeup. But also you want to document your results, even with our wellness products. So that content with wellness and before and afters might take a little longer for you to get because you don't lose weight in 30 seconds. It takes time. It takes, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but documenting that process. I took a photo every single day for 51 days, working out twice a day, using our wellness products, going to Pilates, incorporating runs. And the first 2 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, nothing's happening. But then on like the 16th day, I could see a major difference. On the 30th day, major difference. 51st day, major, major, major difference. So, like, document yourself so that you can have content to show in the long term, but also utilize our makeup so that you can have real results in real time and start making income a lot quicker. So, people want to see you using the products that you love. They don't just want to see me sharing Issa's before and after. They don't want to see me just, it's important that we use third-party validators, but people follow you, people know you. So when they see you using the product, it builds more trust. So show before and afters. Share your daily use, whether it's a skincare routine, makeup application, our NutriPlus wellness products. Educate simply on what it is. This is our brown sugar lip gloss. I use it because look at how it makes me look. I use it because they're up to European standards and I don't need to spend $40 for my lip gloss anymore. And it just makes me walk into the room and feel like I am just that girl, right? And people want to walk into the room and feel like they're that girl. People don't want to spend $40 on a lip gloss. And when they see that there's a 12 20 $12 option, $22 option if they're purchasing as a customer, that will give them the same results as Charlotte Tilbury or Fenty Beauty's $32 lip gloss. Why wouldn't they buy your $20 lip gloss? And if they're going to be a BI, $14 lip gloss, right? So confidence comes from experience. You might not have confidence sharing the products, but it might be because you're not using them enough. You cannot confidently recommend what you are not consistently using. So the first step to building a business that creates, real results is you using the products and you having real results for yourself. Confidence comes from experience. You cannot confidently recommend what you are not consistently using. I can confidently recommend the L-carnitine, the electrolytes, the Sambucus, the beauty collagen shots because I use them every morning before I go to Pilates and I have personally seen results. So when people are complimenting me on my consistency with Pilates, of course Pilates has given me results, but I started going to Pilates because I started incorporating wellness products into my routine that got me to want to start working out, right? So when you use products consistently, you will gain more confidence with sharing them. So using a product, when you use a product daily, your belief in that product, it's going to grow. You're not going to talk about something with, a stutter in your voice. You are going to be talking about something with confidence because you're going to be compassionate about it. I use this vitamin C serum for like since it launched that Pharmasynergy at my first Pharmasynergy. It's helped my complexion. It's tightened my skin. When people are, complimenting on my glow, Of course, it's Jesus, but my vitamin C serum has made a big impact on my skin pigmentation. And using it consistently and seeing my own personal results creates more confidence for myself. And of course, the skincare, the hair care, and the wellness, that's gonna be more of a long term before and after, but the makeup will give you an instant result, right? If I go and put on my VFX Pro foundation, you guys saw me on the last call. I came on our previous call, my makeup was full glam, and you guys were like, wow, I love your makeup today. And if you start an Instagram story barefaced and then get on the next story, like I just did my makeup, here's what I use, people are gonna see an instant before and after, which is why I'm always telling people get started with makeup, add on the products later, because if you're someone that doesn't use makeup, and then you start using makeup, you're gonna have even better results. You're gonna get more people's attention because they're gonna see that, wow, it works. I've never seen her really start like, using makeup and getting into this. It's made her feel more confident. It's made her walk into the room differently. I want to start using those products too. So think about that when you're wondering, like, why am I not getting customers? Ask yourself, how consistently am I using the products? How consistently am I demonstrating the products, right? Are you using the products daily? Like, is your L-carnitine that you bought 4 weeks ago still in your fridge? Because mine runs out in 2 weeks. How consistently do you use the products on a scale of 1 to 10? Can you describe how they've helped you? Can you explain them simply to someone who's brand new, right? For the aloe, like the aloe glow, for example, when people are like, "Oh, what's the aloe that you talk about on your Instagram story?" And simply put, I tell them, "This is the natural washing machine for your body." You should be able to explain what a product does in a sentence. It shouldn't be this like long term or long explained paragraph. You need to make it simple for them to stay focused on what you're talking about because people's attention spans are so short and they need to understand what you're talking about instantly. So when you use the products, your belief in the product, it's going to deepen. When I first started in pharmacy, it took a while for me to find the products I really loved because there's so many of them, right? There was so many mascaras. My eyelashes are different than Issa's eyelashes. There's so many perfumes. There's, so many wellness products. So it took a while for us to really figure out what do we like, what can we share, like in a simple way. And we've already done that for you. But, finding the foundation that you love, finding like for me, the Infinity, maybe drop in the chat, what is your mascara? Because I have seen all of us share a different mascara, and I love that. But it shows that like you're gonna find the product that works best for you. So some people like Infinilash. Infinilash is my girl. People like the double N. I was watching Abby's story and I'm like, girl, are those your eyelashes? And hers, she likes the double N, the silver one, the double N, the double lash, whatever mascara. But everyone has a different mascara, and Abby's eyelashes caught my eye because she was this close to the camera. She's using the front face, and you can see the results on her eyes in real time. And it made me put the double N mascara. I actually just got the box, and Abby sold me on that mascara. So, seeing people use the product makes a huge difference, right? So I really recommend, if you guys are not sharing the makeup and you right now you're like, I'm not a makeup girl, try being a makeup girl in 2026. I'm not telling you to be a full glam makeup artist and now you're a Huda Beauty, but you would be so surprised at how putting on mascara will catch someone's eye and ask you, what, yeah, like Alma said, at least your lashes. They'll be like, what is on your eye? Or if you're at work and you're constantly putting the peptide on, they're gonna say, what peptide are you using? I've been looking for, a lip gloss. I see you're always putting this on. You would be surprised at the amount of people that are gonna start asking because it's a product that can give you instant results and show people your instant results, which will give you more customers because people buy when they see results, right? Same thing with lash artists. A lot of lash artists will tell you like their businesses grow from word of mouth because people that they work with see their lashes and they're like, who does your lashes? I need to go to that person because they like the results that they're seeing. So you need to be able to show people real results and your personal experience. And when you use the products, your belief deepens. And when your belief deepens, your content will become magnetic, right? I look forward to watching Abby like when that front screen is on, I'm like, okay, what is she about to use? What is she about to do? What do I need to add to my cart next? And that's going to create content that converts. So let's talk about what to post. You want to share, morning skin routines. Maybe you're like, I don't know what to post. Your morning skin routine. And this one, I know it's hard for all of us because not using a filter, not having makeup on, putting your skincare on, it can feel you're being more vulnerable. You're showing people what you look like in the morning with no makeup on. I know when I'm making my glow drink before Pilates, I turn on the camera. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I look like right now. And I know other people aren't thinking that, but we all think that when we turn on the camera, you just woke up, you have no makeup on, and I share how I make my glow drink. And at first, I'm like, ugh, I really don't want to share this, but I know the importance of people seeing me not glammed up. I know the importance of people seeing me when I'm not this perfect influencer content creator with my makeup and my hair done and what I'm actually doing in my life. It makes a difference. And then they're going to see me glammed up and they're going to see the results with the makeup. So your morning routine, whether it's how you make your glow drink in the morning or how you do your skincare in the morning, makeup before and afters, doing foundation on one side of your face, doing mascara on one eye and showing the difference of the eyelashes. Maybe you use the brow gel, doing one eyebrow with the brow gel, one without. And I highly recommend putting this on Reels. Excuse me, because Reels are what's going to get your reach to people that do not follow you yet. And I post it to my stories and then I save it and I make a reel out of it. That way I kill two birds with one stone. And your story lasts for what, 24 hours? Your reel lasts forever. So I highly recommend sharing results in that way. Maybe you're sharing, your new wellness habits for 2026. Day in the life content performs so well. And result photos, before and afters. I'm telling you, document everything. One eyelash, one eye without mascara, the other with. Maybe it's the lip plumper. You do liner and lip gloss on one side of your mouth. Take a photo, like keep these things so you can reshare, reuse, recycle. I don't know if you guys remember that or if I'm just being a millennial, but it's reduce, reuse, recycle. But with your content, you can reuse and recycle your content, but you have to save it, you have to document it. Um, and remind yourself that you're not posting to convince people, you're posting to create curiosity. So result photos go such a long way. People want to see your personal results. Talking videos, I know, but you did so well today with your hair, friend. Are you kidding me? It's the perfect example. If you guys go to Ashley's story and see, she did a perfect before and after, perfect hair transformation on her Instagram story. And I know she had a lot of people message her about that because that was a wow before and after. Like, oh my gosh, her hair looks so good. I need some of that pharmacy. What is she using? What's the garlic and capixul that she's has in her hair? So perfect example, Ashley. Your talking videos are great, friend. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't even tell that you don't like them. You're so good at it. All right. So need a breather. The content that converts is content that you can take people along your day. I know, or showing your real results. I think focusing more on that instead of focusing on $7 sign up. Of course, you need to share that stuff to let people know, but you should have more skincare routine, more makeup before and afters, more, your wellness habits, more day in the life. Because I see a lot of trending reels. I see a lot of flyers, I see a lot of infographics, but people should feel like they FaceTime you when they go to your Instagram page. And if they don't have a lot of that, right? Like my brown sugar lip gloss video, it performed so well. I had so many DMs about that, and it's because I was just actually talking to them as if they were with me in my room, right? And then I clicked the repost button and I wrote on the repost DM lip for the gloss link. So now whenever this resurfaces, they're gonna see like my little comment here, but my video is me speaking, me sharing my thoughts as I'm putting on the lip gloss and the lip liner. So that is what you guys should do. And Ashley, you should save those stories and make a reel out of it and post it on your feed. Because only the people that follow you are seeing that. But imagine like the reach that you can get when that goes to your reels. So, sorry, there's someone in my hallway. They're being really loud. So we went over content that converts, and then we want to focus on education over promotion, which is what I was just trying to say. So in your content, you should be focusing on educating people over promoting the product and over the promotion or over the sale, because I like to talk about the product so that I can use it longer. When you're talking about a $7 sign up or a free aloe glow in the content, you can't really use the content longer than the promotion. But if I'm creating a before and after of the aloe glow and sharing my personal results, my personal thoughts, my personal journey with the aloe glow, and then reposting and writing free aloe glow when you order now, I can always change the caption. I can always change the repost sticker, but you can't, I mean, you can create a new video and talk about it again, but when you're sharing your personal story in the video, you can reuse that video a lot more than focusing on the promotion. Does that make sense? So you guys always see me reposting that L-carnitine, reposting my brown sugar lip gloss, reposting my Y pharmacy video because it's not focused on a promotion, it's focused on education. So education is an income producing activity. Think whenever you share a product, what problem does this lip peptide solve? For me, I'm someone that sleeps with my mouth wide open and I'm breathing and I'm snoring. And if I don't wear this, my lip will crack down the middle before I go to bed. So if you are like me and you are a mouth wide open sleeper whose lips get cracky, this is going to save your life, right? And that's going to get people's attention. It's going to make people feel like I'm a real person, not just Khloe Kardashian. And Khloe Kardashian still sells a lot of product being super scripted. So think, what problem does this solve? Who is it for? And why do you love it? Because there's someone out there who also sleeps with their mouth wide open, who also gets their lip cracked down the middle. Not everyone, but there's someone. And if you focus on someone instead of everyone, you're going to get a lot more traction with your sales. So what problem does this product solve? Who is it for? And why do you love it? Every time you share a product, that is what you should be answering with your voice. Not Alma, she sleeps pretty with her mouth closed. I believe it. So you wanna keep this. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you don't know what to share when you are using a product, this is what you should be saying. But don't film the video and say, "What problem does this solve?" Just tell them, "I use this lip peptide because it makes my lips more moisturized than I've ever had a product moisturize my lips before." If actually I would start it off saying, "If you guys sleep with your mouth wide open, you need this lip peptide." And then I would go into it, right? You want to have a good hook. You want to be personable, and think about the problem that it solves. For me, it solves my lips cracking when I sleep, and I just use it throughout the day so my lips stay moisturized. So, why do you love it? Who is it for? And what problem does this product solve? That is what you should be talking about whenever you are sharing products so that you can be educating instead of promoting. When you educate, it's a high income producing activity. So, example language, I used this for 3 weeks and I noticed my lips stopped cracking in the middle of the night. I used this for 3 weeks, and I noticed that when I woke up in the morning, I wasn't in pain from my dry lips. What I love most about this product is that it moisturizes my lips more than the $32 lip peptide that I was using before, and I save half the amount of money with the same results. If you struggle with cracked lips, this is going to help you. When you educate, people self-select, and self-selected customers, they stick. So content creates curiosity, curiosity creates conversation, and conversation creates customers. Content creates curiosity, curiosity creates conversation, and conversation creates customers. When you educate, people will self-select what they want to use. And when people are self-selecting your product, like they messaged you and they self-selected this peptide. They came across your content. They selected it themselves. Like when they DM lip, they selected my content. They selected my product. They reached out to me and they selected this item themselves. I didn't have to reach out to them and be like, "Oh my gosh, you need to try this." Of course, I also reach out, but when you get the customers and the followers that are self-selecting products from you, right? They watch all of your stuff. They see 15 different products that you use, but they self-selected the certain products that they know are going to work for them based off of what you educated. They're going to stick because they self-selected it from your content and from your results. So when you educate on the product, people self-select and self-selected customers stick, right? I have a customer that orders our hair care every single month, and she orders it every month because she self-selected the products herself. She watched my content. She wanted the oil treatments. She wanted the same results that I'm sharing with my hair. So she picked the product. She reached out to me. So she's gonna stick and she's gonna keep ordering because she's the one that wanted the results because of the education that I posted. So, number one, I spent a lot of time on number one, but your customers are so important because the more people you get in your customer funnel, those are more people that are going to love the products and upgrade to beauty influencer. So a healthy business has a lot of customers. The more customers that you have, the more people, like in the long term, if you keep recruiting customers, you're gonna have like months where you recruit 5 BIs, 10 BIs, because they're all people that were customers that love the products. And then when people love the products, they can confidently share them. And they're gonna start sharing them with their coworkers. They're gonna message you and say, "Hey, my coworker wants your link. They see me using this product for the last 3 months," and you can say, "Why don't you just upgrade to beauty influencer and you make the money?" Right? So you really want to focus on customers so that you can have more people to upgrade and enroll as beauty influencers. That creates a healthy foundation. So, number two, recruiting beauty influencers. And you do that by sharing your why and leveraging third-party validation. So, the second income producing activity, we're focusing on recruiting BIs and sharing your why. So, recruiting beauty influencers, this is done through story, not pressure. People aren't just joining companies, they join people and they join your why. They join why you started this business. So, recruiting is not convincing, recruiting is connecting. People don't join because of logic alone. They join because of emotion, they join because of alignment, and they join because of belief. So we recruit by sharing our personal story. If you want to recruit more beauty influencers, you need to share your story more. One reel last month is not enough. And I'm going to talk about exposures in a second, but you need to share your personal story. You need to do more Instagram lives. Talk about what pharmacy has changed for you. Share why you started, not just where you are. Your story, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. So how real can you get with your audience? Because your story, it really is your superpower because you don't need a big rank, you don't need a big check to recruit. You need a real story. So break it down. If you don't know how to share your story, and if you feel like you're someone that gets on Instagram Live and you're all over the place, or you're word vomiting, or you don't know how to have a structured story, you need to write this down because structure to your story gains attention and it gains, your people are the people that are listening are allowed to process, are able to process what you're saying more. So you need to have structure with your story. When I share my story, it's the same thing over and over again, just to a different audience. Because I know every time I go live, of course, I'm going to hit the same people, but I know someone new is going to watch it. So number one, the first thing you say is, who were you before pharmacy? Who you were before pharmacy. Maybe you joined yesterday. Talk about who you are before you click join now. What is your current circumstance? And then number two, what were you looking for? Were you looking for community? Were you looking for, an extra source of income that would allow, and get specific. Don't just say I needed an extra source of income. You can say I wanted to be able to provide for my family and give my daughter ballet classes every single week. I wanted to feel like I was contributing something. I wanted to be able to take my daughter to ballet and have that, special connection with her so that I could look back when she's 15 and know that I was able to provide that for her. So, like, get specific on what you were looking for. I wanted community. I just moved to Florida and I saw, this community of women that go on Bible study, that go to have vision board parties, and I wanted to be part of a community that was meant for more. And then why you said yes. I was tired of being at the end of every month with just $200 left in my bank account after paying $3,000 in bills. I wanted more money to live my life, not just to stay alive. And then what has changed since you said yes? I've been able to gain this community. I've been able to gain more confidence in myself and what I provide for my family. I've created friendships that I would have never had before saying yes to this business. Your why doesn't have to be dramatic, it just has to be honest. What do you want me to repeat? Ray? Let me know in the comments. But this is also recorded. So your why doesn't have to be dramatic, you just need to be honest. So who you were before pharmacy, what you were looking for, why you said yes, and what has changed since. So I shared above the income producing activity script for whenever you share a product. What problem does this solve? Who is it for? Why do you love it? And then this is your income producing activity script for recruiting beauty influencers. Who you were before pharmacy, what you were looking for, why you said yes, and what's changed since. So the second income producing activity is recruiting BIs by sharing your why. So you need to get really good at sharing your why. If you go on Instagram Live and you're like, and you've been in this for a while and you still don't know how to share your story, you just need to do it more. You need to go live more, or you need to watch info calls and take notes and just repeat it in your personal way. That's how I got good at this. I watched info calls on my way to work, on my way home from work. I went into the boards and I watched every info call. I listened to every story so that it could stick. Right? It needs to stick like you listen to your favorite song. You memorize song lyrics, same way with info calls. The more you listen to them, the verbiage will stick. So if you're not good at sharing your why, listen to more info calls, listen to more Instagram lives, and plug it into this format. Who you were before pharmacy, what you were looking for, why you said yes, and what has changed since you said yes. And add another one, what you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being able to earn brand trips. I'm looking forward to have the opportunity to go to Turkey. I'm looking forward to having a car bonus and earning an extra $450 a month to provide, for my car payment. So be confident in sharing what pharmacy can do for you. I think a lot of people fall short of this because they're nervous to share what pharmacy can do for them if they haven't achieved it yet. And I was sharing before I achieved. I was sharing, and even before, pharmacy, like take it back to my first network marketing company, because I know people can, see me joining pharmacy now and they're like, well, you've seen success before. I joined my first company never doing anything like this before. And I wasn't afraid to say, I'm going to earn a Cadillac. I'm going to earn a brand trip. I'm going to make $1 million in this industry. Like, you cannot be afraid of sharing what you believe you can accomplish, right? So you have to share what pharmacy can do for you. You see what it's doing for other people, why not you, right? So I want to encourage you guys, do more Instagram lives, talk to the camera more, have, meaningful story captions. You can create, like, this doesn't just have to be like talking, you can also share captions of this breakdown that I just shared, but I recommend doing both, right? So make sure you're inviting, not just explaining. Our job isn't to explain everything. We invite people into information. So use the tools that we give you, right? You can create your own tools by doing your own info calls and your own Instagram lives, your own Zoom recordings. But when you use our tools, it removes pressure. Our boards that we have, our Her Society YouTube, our Her Society info calls. The last beauty influencer I enrolled, it was from the flyer that Adriana made for for all of us, right? That was a tool that was provided. So the tools that we provide, it removes pressure. Tools create professionalism and tools allow duplication. So when you're talking to someone about the business, using tools, if they're like, can you tell me more about this? Maybe they watch your Instagram live and they want more information, you know, just say, perfect. I have an info call that I can send you that explains more. If I send it to you, will you be able to watch it? Sending the info call, that creates professionalism. That creates duplication. When they sign up, they know they can send an info call. They know that they don't have to go live right away. They know that there are tools to help them succeed. So borrow belief until you have your own belief. You don't start this having belief. I didn't start network marketing, hosting trainings, hosting info calls. I borrowed other people's belief. I borrowed info call recordings and watched them until I was able to do it myself. So borrow other people's belief until you have your own. Use Zoom info calls. Use our team's testimonies. When you see before and after shared in the WhatsApp chat, screenshot it, post it to your story. When you see people sharing, their 50% commission in the chat, if you have not received 50% commission yet, borrow that testimony, screenshot it, put it to your page. So excited to be part of this and seeing people earn this kind of money just by sharing products that they love. DM Wi-Fi to make Wi-Fi money with me, right? So borrow other people's belief, borrow other people's success, borrow other people's testimonies until you have your own. So it's not just your voice. People, when it's not just your voice sharing these products and sharing this business, people feel safer saying yes. When you send them an info call of me and Adriana, when I send them an info call of Isa and Bianca, they know like Kat's not just crazy, Kat's not crazy. There's other people seeing success here. So when it's not just your voice talking about the wellness products and the wellness results, and you're reposting other people that have also seen results with the wellness, it's backing up your own testimony. So when it's not just your voice, people feel safer saying yes. So leverage those third party tools along with sharing your story. This is going to remove pressure and you don't have to convince, you just have to invite. So, number three, following up and creating multiple exposures fast. A lot of you wrote following up in the comments, which is great. We all know that we need to follow up, but we also need to follow up with multiple exposures quickly. So a lot of people miss the mark by not following up. One, they invite once, the person didn't respond, the person, said no, and they stop at no. You can't stop at no. Most people, their no isn't a no, it's a not yet. And research shows that it takes 4 to 6 exposures for someone to say yes. So following up is the highest paid skill in this business. Most people don't enroll on the first exposure, and that's normal. I want you to think, and some people do. Some of us are like, I see it, sign me up. But most people, it takes them a while. So exposure is when they see you, they hear you, and they feel you without pressure, without chasing. They see that you're constantly sharing Get Ready with Me's. You're constantly doing a day in the life, and you're constantly, sharing your Zoom calls that you're doing. So when they see that over and over and over again, maybe you do a reach out, you send an info call. A lot of people, they wait months or they wait weeks to send another exposure. But the key is the speed of the exposure that you're giving to your potential. So instead of spreading 4 to 6 exposures over a span of 2 months, we want to compress those exposures into 1 week. And I'm not saying you're going to sign everyone up within a week, but you'll sign up a whole lot of more beauty influencers than, sometimes we reach out on, we invited them to our January 5th info call and we have not talked to them since. And it's January 13th. Or you sent them the call on January 5th, the call me and Adriana did. You messaged them after the call and they said, okay, I have to think about it, and you still haven't spoken to them, right? The key is to be like, well, I'm going to host an Instagram live tomorrow with my friend Rosa. I would love for you to hop on and learn more. That way they hear someone else's story. And then maybe, 2 days later, you're like, oh my gosh, this before you see it before and after. You're like, this girl would love this before and after. Let me send her the results again. You want to give them multiple exposure. So what counts as an exposure? Instagram stories. Every time they watch your story, exposure. Instagram live, a DM or a voice note, a Zoom info call, an in-person event, a follow-up message, product content. Speed of exposure is what's going to move the needle even quicker in your business. So momentum recruits. Silence does not recruit. So have a mindset shift of following up is not annoying, it's leadership. Because timing matters more than talent. The girl that signed me up, I'll say this story over and over again because she messaged me 7 times over a span of 2 months. If she put those 7 messages into 1 month, I probably would have signed up quicker. But it was a timing thing. This girl did not have talent. I was her second recruitment in 6 months. She had only okay, so pretend you're in this business for 6 months and you recruited one person, and then on your let's say you're in this for 5 months, you've only recruited one person. On her 6 month, she got her second recruitment. It was me, and I hit the top rank of the company 2 years later. She did not have talent. She did not have experience. All she did was follow up. Following up is the highest paid skill in this industry, and patience. Imagine if that girl quit. Imagine if she didn't follow up with me 7 times for 2 months. Imagine if she thought she was annoying me. I've created a whole career with this because that girl followed up with me 7 times in 2 months, and her timing on that seventh follow-up ended up being perfect timing. I had a good shift that night. I was like, you know what? This girl keeps messaging me. Let me just do this. So the timing matters more than talent, and you'll never know if it's the perfect time if you're not following up. You never know when the perfect time is until you follow up and realize, well, I talked to her at the perfect time. So compress your timeline. Instead of stretching 6 exposures over 2 months, you want to create momentum within 7 days. So maybe day one, you send them a DM from the story that you posted a story, they, sent you a DM, you send them a DM, you reach out, they say, "Oh, thank you for thinking of me. I have been thinking about it," and you guys have conversation and you send the link. Maybe they don't sign up right away. Day three, "Hey, I'm doing an Instagram live. I know we talked about, doing the business together. I would love for you to listen in so you can learn more about it." And you DM them the IG live, right? Maybe they don't sign up right away from the Instagram live, but now they know a little more. Next, day five, there's a Zoom call that you can send. We have them weekly with More Than Business. So you're like, "Hey, I know I sent you this Instagram live, but we're actually having a private Zoom call with my mentor. Oh, she's made X, Y, and Z. I'd love for you to listen in and hear her story." Send the Zoom link, right? And then maybe day seven. "Oh my gosh, there's this event happening. I would love for you to come so you can meet everyone." Having those multiple exposures because momentum will create decisions. And this isn't a perfect world, right? Of course, there's going to be situations. Of course, there's going to be people that take a little longer. But if you treat everyone like this, you are going to get more signups and you're going to get the person that does enroll in a week versus making everyone, that you enroll be enrolled in a 3 month period. So, following up is not annoying, it's leadership. If you believed that this could really change someone's life, you wouldn't stop after one message. So, encourage confidence in the person that you're speaking to. Encourage them like, "Hey, I know you're going to be so good at this." Like the girl that enrolled me in my first network marketing company, she was like, "I know you're going to be so good. I know I'm reaching out to you a lot, but I just really see what you can do here." Like she was encouraging me before I even got started. So I came in like, "All right, this girl believes in me. Let's see, what I can do here." So don't get attached, don't get emotional, just be consistent. All right? Number four, in-person events. Sorry, I know this is going a little long. I only have five, so we're almost done. Are you guys good? If not, you guys can hop on the replay, but I hope this is helpful. All right, thanks guys. All right, number four, in-person events. We want to be high tech, which is what I just talked about, our content, our lives, our Zooms, product content, right? We want to be high tech, but we also want to be high touch. So we are building a high tech and a high touch business. So online builds reach, but in person builds trust. How many of you have enrolled someone that you were talking to for months at an event after you're at an event and they've only been there for an hour and they're ready to go. They're ready to sign up. But you talked to them for 3 months online they didn't sign up online. This happens all the time. And people don't just buy information, they buy energy. So people enroll when they can feel your energy, when they can touch the products, and they can meet others doing the same thing. Because emotion creates decision. Whether it's a coffee chat, right? Whether you're meeting up with them for coffee one-on-one, whether it's a big Pilates class that we're hosting, whether it's a social like the SoCal event that happened this past weekend, maybe it's a product showcase. When you're at these events, people can touch the products, they can ask questions in real time, they can meet other people that are doing this business, and they can start to visualize themselves inside of the community. So when they feel belonging, it accelerates belief. So these events, and maybe you do a coffee meetup, it doesn't have to be a big event where you're spending, hundreds of dollars and renting out a venue and, show like having a whole showcase of products. Of course, those are helpful. Of course, that creates professionalism in your business, but you don't start there, right? You can start at a coffee meetup with the brown sugar lip gloss and peach pink lip liner and the vitamin C serum. You can start at a coffee meetup with these two products on the table. And that way, they can feel it, they can smell it, they can use it, and they can feel like, and then you take content together and they see themselves doing this business. So, Events that you host, it collapses time and they create belief faster than anything else will. So duplication happens when people see themselves doing what you're doing. So if you go to a coffee meetup and you're like, let's take content together. I know you're not doing this yet, but I want you to be in like my story. And you give them a product and you tell them to put it on and they're like, oh my gosh, this isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then they see themselves doing it and it makes it feel more real to them. So duplication happens when people see themselves doing what you're doing. And that's exactly what events do. I remember I went to my first event with my first network marketing company. It was like 2019. Um, and a big, person in the company rented out a venue here in Orlando, and it was my first like big event. I didn't know how to host an event prior to that. All I did was like have happy hours and nothing was about the business. It was just like a social and I wasn't recruiting people. So I went to this event and it was so intentional. I went, they did like 30 minutes of mingling. And then each person spoke for 10 minutes on their story. And then they did a call to action on how to sign up. And then they did another 30. And then they did like whoever signs up now will get, a free lip gloss or whatever. And I'll never forget it. And that is what taught me how to speak at an event, how to host like a meat pharmacy event. And I duplicated it. This person's event that I went to, I was not on their team. They were not my upline, but it taught me how to duplicate. I was like, I'm gonna do this. This was so simple. So when you host events, it also helps your beauty influencers that come and they're able to duplicate, right? I'm sure people went to Anjanette's event this past weekend and it might have been their first event and they got to see how to host an event, what an event is like, and they're going to be able to take it back home and do their own. So events create duplication. And events create belief, events create belonging, and people join where they feel like they belong. So you don't need a stage, you don't need a microphone, you just need a heart and you need clarity in what you're doing. So start small, but be consistent and invite people boldly. So remember, events collapse time and they fast track decisions to get people to start joining. And then number five, once you do get a beauty influencer, you need to onboard them properly. This is a huge income producing activity. And I don't know if you guys would want this, but I was talking to Adriana and I think we need to do a training on how to onboard. We have been doing onboardings for you guys, so we haven't really had to put you guys in a position to onboard, but I can tell because I ask people to onboard and no one wants to do it. Like we get like a small amount of people that are willing to do it. And I think it's because there's not a lot of confidence in that onboarding section. And you guys need to be confident in your onboarding and you need to just do it scared. Like Monica did such a good job on our last onboarding. And I think a proper onboarding is going to create longevity in the beauty influencers that you enroll. So excitement, it has an expiration date. So the speed of your onboarding, it matters. Speed is leadership. So enrollment is not the finish line. Sometimes we get the email of, I got a new beauty influencer, new pharmacy influencer, and you're like, okay, done. I got my BI. But your enrollment is not the finish line, it's the starting gate of what that beauty influencer can achieve and the points that they can bring in. So, what you do in that first 48 hours, it determines everything. And I don't want you guys to rely on our onboarding. I want you to be able to onboard. So, we have, when someone enrolls, we have our welcome workbook, we have our onboarding video on YouTube, and we have our WhatsApp chats and our welcome flyer. So it's very important that you send the welcome workbook. Very important you send a recording of the onboarding video. Very important that you add them into the WhatsApp chats and give them the welcome or post the welcome flyer of them that we have in Canva and tag them on Instagram because this creates belonging and this gives them something before they get their box. So they feel like they've immediately purchased something when you give them all of these resources. So you want to give them their tools and their resources immediately. And you can tell when people go through the checklist quickly because they're asking questions. They're talking to you about a recording. Like I'm gonna shout out my new BI Kayla. She's asking me so many questions. I can tell she's going over the checklist. I can tell she's going through boards, and you want to be in conversation with them on, when are you posting your stay tuned post? I can't wait to see you launch. You want to be in communication and making sure you're focusing on their launch, their stay tuned post. But most importantly, you should be able to onboard your team weekly. So I want like Adriana and I to kind of fall back on onboarding because I think it's created a space where people don't know how to onboard because we're always doing it for people. If you don't know how to onboard, you need to watch our recording, take notes, and host it for your team. I got good at onboarding because I did it twice a week for a year for every new person that would join my team. And I was so bad at it the first time. I remember in my previous company, I watched Bianca's onboarding. I took notes and I was shaking. I was stuttering. I didn't know if I was saying it right. It came down to commission and I was jumbling things up. But now I can onboard like the back of my hand, right? But you have to suck hard and suck fast. You have to do it hard. You need to do the hard part first. So get good at onboarding. Watch our onboarding video, take notes, and practice by teaching other people. I would love to see more of you like sharing onboarding links because that's the easiest call to do. I know it sounds hard, but I say it's the most simple. I don't want to say easy because it is hard to get on a training to, explain everything. It's not easy, but it's simple because the PowerPoint is there for you. It's, already done. It's not a skill set that you have to teach. You're just walking them through the PowerPoint that we have. So it's the most simple call for this pimple. I just like activated it by scratching my forehead. But it's the most simple call for people to do. So really get good at onboarding because this is going to help you multiply your business. When your new BIs know that they have 4 months in the welcome program to get free products. Every time a new BI gets onboarded with the video, and for me, it's different because the recording is me speaking about the onboarding, but your BIs don't know me. Your BIs don't know Adriana. It's different when it's you teaching the onboarding. So every time your BI hops on an onboarding and they learn that in their first 4 months they have 125 PV each month to get these free products, you're gonna have a BI that wants to get 125 PV 4 months in a row. But if they don't know that, your BI could fall off within 2 weeks and then you missed out on a BI that would be running for 4 months, right? So you need to make sure they know all of these like proper tools. Mandy, why are you laughing? Are you laughing? Like I want to know what you guys are talking about. All right, so proper onboarding makes a huge difference. And I know for some reason it's emphasizing my pimple. But when you guys are focused on proper onboarding, it makes a huge difference. So do an onboarding weekly for your team, maybe collaborate with another person because it does make a big difference in the longevity of your beauty influencers. So to close us out, number one was the 5 income producing activities we talked about today. Number one, getting customers through product use and results. So, creating content around using the products and sharing your personal results. Number two, recruiting beauty influencers by sharing your why and leveraging third party validation. So, sharing your why and being able to share your story and then sharing our Instagram lives, our Zoom calls, inviting people to weekly opportunity calls. Number three, following up and creating multiple exposures fast. So your exposures should be in weeks, not months. Number four, in-person events, we want to be high tech and high touch. And number five, onboard properly. You don't want all of that process and the first four steps to go to waste because you saw the recruitment as a finish line instead of a starting gate, right? And even when you get a customer, knowing like when they get their products, messaging them, hey, thank you so much. Did you get your box in? Send me a photo. What did you get? Telling them how to use the products. Like you want to create longevity in your customers and your beauty influencers. We onboard our beauty influencers, but you also want to onboard your customers. I forgot to touch on that. Onboard your customers and tell them how to use the product, even if it's on the back of the box, right? Maybe you make a thank you infographic for your customers and send a thank you infographic for them. Tell them how to log into their pharmacy account. Put your clickable link maybe on a PDF because whenever they purchase, they need to use your link, they need to use your sponsor code, or it will assign them a different beauty influencer, right? So, like, think of ways you can personalize your experience for your customers so that you're onboarding your customers properly as well and you're creating customers and BIs for a lifetime. Of course, this is a perfect world. You're going to have customers that don't purchase for a lifetime. You're going to have BIs that you thought would stay forever, leave in 3 months. Like you're never, this is in a perfect world. But if you do that, you're going to get the people that do stay for a lifetime, right? So I hope this was useful and valuable for all of you. Thank you for listening to me for the last I think I got it to an hour because we listened to Justin Timberlake. So we started at like 105. But I was brushing my teeth this morning. I was like, I need to talk about IPAs on today's call. So I hope this was helpful. This was my inspiration from brushing my teeth this morning. A lot of ideas come to me in the shower and when I brush my teeth. But I'm excited for what January has to hold. I can't wait to see all of your product content. We're gonna up the intensity on product content. I hope to see more lives and collaborations from you guys. Like there should always be someone from Her Society going live on Instagram. I hope to see more flyers of like Zoom calls of you guys collaborating and sharing your story. If you want to know how to make more money, you need to do what I just shared. Okay? So if you want more money, ask yourself, did I post products? Like I want my check to get higher. Did I post products? Ask yourself, did I share my story? Did I follow up? Did I invite to an event? Did I onboard with love? This business is simple, but it requires consistency. Consistency in posting products, consistency in sharing my story, consistency in following up over and over and over again because you're one invite away from your next boss director. You're one invite away from your next golden director. You're one follow up away from the next superstar on your team. So remember, simple actions repeated daily will create extraordinary results. Simple actions repeated daily will create extraordinary results. So we're not just building a hobby, we're building a legacy business together in Her Society. And I feel so honored to be here with all of you. I'm excited for 2026 and to see all of the content that comes from this training.